Morning, market snipers. Welcome back. 9 a.m. on the dot Pacific Standard Time. This is Jesse. We've got a lot to cover as usual. We're going to go through a lot of charts. A lot of them are bullish, but some of them are bearish on the lower time frames. We're going to cover it all. We're going to remain neutral. We're going to enjoy the wins that we're having, but we're also going to remain neutral and know that, to expect pullbacks along the way. We do expect retracements along the way, and that's what we're going to dive in today. Good morning, Rick's Moneymakers Helton. Let's go, market snipers. Good morning to everyone. Awesome. Good to see you back, Rick. Is $42,000 hit for Bitcoin? That's that's one of the things we're going to cover today. Obviously, we're going to cover Bitcoin. If you're new to the channel, awesome. Welcome aboard. The first 15 to 30 minutes of the stream, we're going to dive into the charts as quickly as possible. We're going to cover a lot. And then the second half of the stream, if you stick around, make sure you're subscribed so that you can comment whether you have questions or if you want me to chart a specific asset. Just make sure to put in the name of the asset, the ticker symbol, if it's crypto, if it's Forex, or if it's stock, right? That will help me search for it much faster. Keep the stream going. Javier, good morning, market snipers. Good morning, Javier. Welcome back. All right, let's jump right into it. This is our 62nd, not seventh, second consecutive live stream. So that's awesome to see everyone. Bitcoin remains ultra bullish on the weekly chart, right? Remains overbought on the weekly chart, and it can remain that way, right? We had oversold conditions back here, and then the candles flipped, not to be oversold, but then there was bullish divergence, and then a slightly higher low, and we are calling out the breakout at the bottom here at January 2023. And since then, pumped up, had a good retracement, right? Couple of retracements along the way, and now it's just been pumping pretty hard. And ever since the last week of October, it's been ultra bullish, also known as overbought, right? And it can remain overbought. So don't fight the overall trend, but do expect pullbacks along the way. So it really depends on what time frame you're looking at. And one thing that we're going to just quickly cover here, but you can also go over to the channel, and we talked about possible buy the dip scenarios, right? We talked about in previous videos over there of what we expect, a pullback, possibly along the way before the halving, at the halving, or possibly even right after the halving. So whatever it pumps up to, we're going to expect a pullback, and we don't know exactly when, but we'll keep an eye on it every single day, of course, and for the most part, almost every hour, right? If not every hour. So we'll keep going. This is the weekly chart. Let's put the drawings on. So these are longer term targets. I removed longer term target 1. I removed longer term target 2, just to keep the chart a little bit cleaner. But we just hit longer term target 3 at 42,300-ish, right? We had this on the chart for a long time. We had it since the bottom. We've had these targets since the bottom. And you can go back to previous live streams going all the way back to September 6th, right? We had these targets on. We had we still have a 4th target up here, right? I don't think it breaks through 4 targets before the halving. If it does, I'll be surprised, but I've been surprised before, right? But if it does, the time that it does break above, this 4th target is when I believe the magic really starts to happen, right? So once we start getting daily closes above, weekly closes above, I believe that's when the real magic. It's already been pretty magical, right? It's been a great move so far, but once it starts getting above here, then it starts getting above and closing above 65,000. I'll probably do a separate video on this again as we continue to keep moving forward in this bull run. I consider an official bull run once it's right around the halving, gets past the halving, and of course starts closing daily and weekly back above the 3rd target and the 4th target, and then of course ultimately it's already in the bull run by the time it's closing back above all-time highs, right? So assuming we get another bull run, that's what we're going to kind of watch there. So we'll take it step by step. But one of the videos I pointed out is that during this time, whether it was like 2 to 4 more weeks, push it up, kind of come back, puts in a higher low before the halving and starts to move back out, right? Well, let me redraw that. Kind of pushes up for a few weeks to a few months, right? Maybe puts in a higher low back here like January, February, and then starts to make its move back out like that. So that's what I'm kind of expecting. Whether that pushes all the way up to 48,600 and then comes back down, right? The higher and faster it pushes up, the faster and lower the drop it will be. So it's good for swing trading, right? It's great for swing trading, and then puts in the higher low and then bounces out. So either way, that's what I'd be kind of expecting. I'm not expecting $100,000 Bitcoin in 2023. I didn't expect $100,000 Bitcoin in 2022. I don't even expect $100,000 Bitcoin in 2024. If we do get another bull run, and if you kind of watch it, if you go back in past cycles, of course they all play out differently, but been kind of a diminishing returns over time, right? The percentage gains aren't as great as time goes along. So if we get another bull run, assuming we do, and if we hit $100,000 like I would expect to in another bull run, then I wouldn't expect to see $100,000 till 2025, right? So everyone's getting a little too ahead of themselves as usual, right? In my opinion. And of course, I could be wrong, but by the end of 2023, we've seen those calls, $100,000 Bitcoin. I don't see that happening, right? I think it takes more time. We're not even seeing like mass like search results. We're not even seeing mass sentiment or anything like that. So that's what we're going to continue to watch. This is still the overall plan, whether it's this target or this target, right? Then a higher low, possibly before the halving, and then starts to make its move out. And that would be probably your last awesome entry if that plays out. There's no guarantee that it will. Your last possible awesome entry. And then, of course, I would expect Ethereum and the crypto assets to follow behind that, the similar path, right? So that's what we're kind of watching. Bitcoin dominance is still ultra bullish on the weekly chart, right? We've been covering Bitcoin dominance since the bottom. We had these 4 targets laid out. Again, I removed the second target just for visual purposes. We had this target on for a long time since the bottom, going all the way back to 2022, right? And many didn't think we were going to come up. Many influencers that even sell courses didn't think we were going to see the third target get hit, right? So influencers sell courses, quote unquote experts, didn't think this is going to happen. It was possible. We had the targets we had these longer term targets on the chart from all the way back down here. Hit target 1, hit target 2, got rejected just for like a week or two at the 200-week moving average, regained it, put in another higher low. It's taking off to the upside, and it's trending towards hitting target 3. So now once it regained the 200-week moving average, I was saying I would be surprised if it doesn't hit target 3, right? So target 2 is right around this area here, eyeball test. So Bitcoin dominance is still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. And we remember like these few weeks here where it wasn't ultra bullish and there was a little bit of a correction, we saw crypto assets take off to the upside. So could be some awesome moves to the upside with crypto in the future. But right now, thankfully, Bitcoin's running the show and leading the way. And then once Big Brother Bitcoin is done, then Big Brother Bitcoin will let crypto run as well. Caesar, good afternoon. Welcome back. Didn't know about the reverse split on HUT and woke up thinking I was rich. Yeah, Javier. Yep. So reverse split on HUT. Good call out on that one. There was said I was up 400%. We know better. We've seen splits happen in the past, and it takes a while for the brokerages and the exchanges and even TradingView chart to catch up, right? So even my broker was showing it incorrectly today, but I knew better. I didn't get excited over it. So yeah, a reverse split on that one. Yep, good call. Jonathan Martinez, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Dallas, good morning. Welcome back. Tesla John, welcome back. Tesla John, good afternoon. Do you think small caps are just getting a dead cat bounce, or is this a rotation out of big tech and small caps. It's a good question, Tesla John. We can cover it more on the second half of the live stream. We're going to keep going, so we can circle back to it. At the end of the day, as a swing trader, I trade each chart individually, but we can talk about it. We'll circle back on it. Just want to kind of check in there. Let's kind of keep going down the list. Hive is up 7.78%. It gapped up today, right? All the Bitcoin mining stocks gapped up. We thought that would happen because we saw Bitcoin pumping over the weekend. Not so much on Saturday, but once Bitcoin futures opened up my time, I don't know what time it is your time, but Sunday at I believe it was 3 p.m. Sunday yesterday, Bitcoin futures opened up and was positive, and then Bitcoin started to pump yesterday 3 p.m. More so, and then we were expecting the Bitcoin miners to also continue to pump up, and it did, right? So these are shorter term targets. Keep that in mind. These are shorter term targets on the daily chart for Hive, right? So is Hive lagging time wise, right? That's what we thought on CLSK, right? That's what we thought on CLSK when we were calling the breakout back here at $3.80, $4 on CLSK. Sep, yo, good morning, y'all. Welcome back, Seth, sorry, Seth. So we thought CLSK was lagging, right? A couple weeks ago, we were talking about it. People would call out, "Oh, CLSK sucks," blah blah blah. Maybe CLSK sucks compared to MicroStrategy or GBTC or other ones that were pumping ahead of it, or it could have meant that it was lagging time wise and that it'll catch up. And in hindsight, it did, right? So we talked about the breakout, we covered it even on the live streams, and now it's up 128%. It was up 130%, gapped up. What a move, right? We got our own sniper here, Rick's Moneymakers Helton, got in at $5.40. We talked about it on this little mini pullback here, right? Based off of lower time frames. Just remember, it's really overbought, right? It's getting gappy, right? It's getting gappy. The trending dots are even getting really extended, right? You can see like when the trending dots start to get extended, it's getting overbought. Don't forget to take profits along the way, right? And or expect pullbacks along the way, right? So we've had this magnet on for a while now. Not a while, but at least probably a couple of weeks. We've had this magnet here for the 200-week moving average. So what our plan was, if it broke out and started to hit shorter term target 1, 2, 3, and 4, then we would expect 200-week moving average to get retested. It did. So there could be a pullback before. If it doesn't regain it, there could be a pullback, kind of let the trending dots, right? Kind of let the moving averages catch up, all that stuff. But as of right now, it's ultra bullish. And then with the gap up, even the weekly chart. So we literally went, remember, this is like catching lightning in a bottle, right? And don't forget, smash the subscribe button, right? Help me, help you, help me. Smash that subscribe button, smash it, and smash that like button too. Really help me, help you, help me. Smash that like button. So now that we got that out of the way, help me out over there with that. One quick thing while we're still here, while we're going to keep going. Thanks again for the 7,000 followers on Market Sniper Pro. I appreciate that. We just hit that. When did I post this? December 1st, right? So just a few days ago. But thanks again for the 7,000 followers. I appreciate that. One thing I want to circle back on Bitcoin. Ooh, all right. Let me clean this up. For and this is where I got one of the ideas just based off previous cycles, right? One thing I want to kind of show that I had out here is the halving tracker, right? So you can kind of see where like there's a lot of peaks right here. If you line up, these are the previous cycles, right? This is the current cycle down here. So they're all different, but there are a lot of similarities. So if we do get a similar bull run, right, you can see the peaks kind of line up here around 500 to 550 days, right? And then you can kind of see the bottoming phase anywhere from 800 to like 950 days, right? You can kind of see that. And then there's like a a bear market rally, right? Kind of around there, kind of retrace, and then another local top here, right around that 1300. And we were talking about that back here at 1250, 1250 days. These are days, right, after halving. So the next halving's in the near future, April, in the second week of April, I believe. April 18th is estimate. It's just an estimate, but around 1250 days, we're talking about would we find a local top and then a retracement around that 1300, 1325 days, right? Somewhere around like early December, first week of December, second week of December. It's possible. We don't know for sure, but it's just something to be aware of, right? That before the next halving, there's typically a pullback, and then it starts to make its move back out to the upside after that. So it's been a nice move. We've been covering it. We've been talking about it. It's just been melting up on this move. And then you can see that there's, about 1325 days, there's a local top here. Right at 1300 days, there's a local top there. Double top at about 1300. And I don't know. This is an eyeball test. 1315 days right there. And then right at 1300 days, there is a local top there, right? So just keep that in mind that after hitting longer term target 3 with the NASDAQ rolling over, what if right at 1300 days, we also get a local top here, or the next, 10 to 20 days, right? 10 to 30 days, let's just say, to be safe, that could possibly see a double top or double local top or continue push higher for another 10 to 15, 30 days is possible, right? So that's what we're kind of talking about there. But let's keep going on these Bitcoin miners that we've been covering, and we've been playing it, right? So that was CLSK again. Just what a big move quickly. Just barely had a buy signal on the weekly chart. And then from that, like I said, a little bit of a retracement to about 515, a little bit of a mini pullback, shot right up, right? So let's get back on the daily chart. Ultra bullish on the daily, ultra bullish on the weekly chart. It is getting pretty far extended. You would expect, even if it doesn't pull back, you'd expect like some sort of consolidation, right? Kind of consolidation. These are wild animals, so maybe it's some sort of a bigger consolidation, kind of like the trending dots catch up like that and then make its move up. That's possible, right? Just something to keep an eye on there. So that's CLSK. Of course, since they're both ultra bullish, right? Since they're both, the weekly and the daily chart are ultra bullish, it could continue just flying upwards, right? So it won't go straight up forever, right? This is like a parabolic move. It's like catching lightning in a bottle. It won't go up forever. Expect pullbacks, expect consolidations, expect retracements along the way. 631 skim, BTF, CLSK is going to have a pre-halving sell-off and a rip to higher highs. Yeah, that's what I would expect. If Bitcoin pulls back before the halving, if the NASDAQ continues to pull back and as a bigger retracement puts in a higher low, right? We're going to cover all that too. That would kind of line up. The DXY has got a pending buy signal on the 12-hour chart, which we'll cover. 10-year yield has a reverse candle on the 12-hour chart. NASDAQ has a pending sell signal on the 12-hour chart, as the ticker says. So we're going to cover all that. But, we want to try to ride it as long as possible. Just know that it's getting gappy. It's getting wicky. And don't forget to take profits along the way, because unless your strategy is like, hey, I want to hold it, for the next year or two, right? You might hold it through some pain, do some woulda, coulda, shouldas, stuff like that. So obviously none of this financial advice, educational purposes only, entertainment sometimes we're entertaining, right? So with all that, never risk more than you can afford to lose. And if you're unsure what your entries, your exits, your take profit targets are, all that stuff, then I would recommend, not swing trading, right? So especially these high risk assets, these are high risk, lightning in a bottle. But when you catch lightning in a bottle, woo, what a move. What a time to be alive as a market sniper, right? Possibly heading into this next bull run. We'll see how things turn out with the halving and all that stuff. We're going to remain neutral as possible. Arnold talking about it's hard to stay neutral. Yeah, when your bags are pumping, when your entries and all that is working out, hitting targets. Yeah, it's hard to stay neutral, but we'll do our best to stay neutral as much as we can, right? So we got to celebrate our wins, but at the same time, we got to remain neutral at the same time and act like we've been here before, right? So act like we've been here before. Act like we've, this isn't our first winning trade, right? So maybe some of you, it is your first winning trade. Silver Miner CDE had a nice ripper. Yeah, you called it out on the live stream. I think we took a look at it. Looking to add on pullback. So many gold and silver breakout artists bought the local top. Yep. Yeah, I saw that. They're getting ultra bullish, and then it shot straight up. And then I saw that gold was starting to had an ugly candle today, but it's not closed yet. But huge wick, possible reversal candle on gold. We can cover that too. So probably not a bad strategy to buy the dip, right? So, but expect the dips. You got to expect dips along the way. This is Marathon Digital. All 4 shorter term targets have been hit. 200-week moving average is up here at about $16.11. This is a longer term target that has not been hit yet. This is the first longer term target, and Marathon Digital has not hit it yet. Unlike Bitcoin's hit 3 of the longer term targets so far, doesn't mean it will. Bitfarm, ultra bullish as well. 4 of the shorter term targets has not hit the 200-week moving average again, right? It hit it back here in July, and that's currently at $2.20. Price is currently $1.72. Riot gapped up above it, right? Almost hit target 4 in the gap up, came back down. It's getting pretty gappy. It's overbought, but that's sometimes when the magic happens. That's why we have a magic wand on it, right? So you can see when it's overbought back here and the magic wand was on it. Yeah, it's overbought. And then that's sometimes when the magic happens, right? So a low double bottom, right? Looked like almost like another double bottom on the higher low. Many got frustrated, right? Including myself. My patience was thin. And then the last buy signal took off to the upside, right? So HUT, reverse split. You can see there's a split on the chart itself, but even TradingView is all messed up, right? TradingView was showing that prices at, all this was at $60, right? And then it was, price is down at $10, and it's still currently bullish. It was pending a sell signal for a brief moment, but broke out, came back tested the trending dots. And is HUT lagging time-wise? Possibly, right? Is HUT lagging time-wise? It's possible. So will it hit shorter-term targets to the upside? Will it retest the 200-week moving average? It's possible. 200-week moving average is at $17.40. And then you got longer-term targets up there from there, right? So HUT, is that still an opportunity, right? After breaking out to the upside and gapping up to $12, right? It's all the way back down. It came all the way back down below $10. Not financial advice. Is it? We don't know. Is it? I noticed that on several of your charts, when there's been an orange bullish candle, it's typically followed by more bullish candles. So what you assume should happen? No. I mean, depends on the asset, right? Sometimes like the less risky assets might just have like one orange candle. So on these ones, they're showing like, yeah, they remained bullish, maybe because they remained ultra bullish, John, probably because Bitcoin is can remain overbought or remain ultra bullish for much longer than what most expect, especially the bears shorting it the whole way. But yeah, sometimes it could just be a one candle off. So if your strategy is, hey, it's getting overbought and it's into key target 3 or key target 4, I'm going to take profit. It's not a bad strategy because you're locking in profit. So I wouldn't say it's a good assumption. It's a good call out that you see like there's more than just one candle, because it's sometimes when the magic happens, but it's also sometimes it's just overbought and you expect for it to calm down after that. So it, just like in anything on trading, there's never like 100%. When this happens, this always happens, right? So that's what I kind of chalk it up to. So ultra bullish, right? And then became not ultra bullish, became ultra bullish, then not ultra bullish, to ultra bullish again, right? Ethereum. So there's never, when this happens 100%, this is going to be the exact same result, right? So otherwise we'd be billionaires, and we'd be billionaires tomorrow. Maybe some of you are, but I'm not. So Ethereum, ultra bullish on the daily chart. This is another longer term target. I believe it's longer term target 2, right? So Bitcoin's at longer term target 3, Ethereum's at longer term target 2, right? I took off target 1. So so this is target 2, 3, and 4. Bitcoin is up here at target 3. There's a gap. There's a CME gap. I forgot about it, but it's on my, because I don't look at the Ethereum futures as often. Forgot for like, a few days or whatever, but I noticed it over the weekend. Ethereum, there is a gap here. It's on the chart. It's not a huge gap, but it is something like, let's see, a 3% gap. Yeah, it's a pretty small gap, but it's still on the chart over there. So you got a 3% gap at $2,627 ish. So if we go back up to Ethereum over here, and we're gonna get into all the stocks too. So we got a lot to cover. This one might be a little bit longer as usual. What do you think about for Solana and right now, my man? Yeah, well, it's on the list. We'll take a look at it. But Ethereum, they're all going to be similar thoughts, depending on like the weekly chart is still bullish. Daily charts are bullish and or ultra bullish. So we'll get into it. Hut was delisted from Webull for whatever reason. Tesla John, probably a shorter term thing. Maybe it was delisted on, I think someone else called it out on Robinhood too. I'm not on Robinhood or Webull. But yeah, it was, they probably removed it because their pricing was off, right? And they're probably not as experienced as like the bigger brokers out there, like TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, all those bigger brokers. They can handle the switchovers and the splits a lot easier. Their systems probably get messed up, and they're not as equipped to deal with the splits. So Webull probably puts them back on. I think Robinhood removed it probably for the same reason, pricing, right? And then they fixed it, right? So check back later, let me know. Maybe you got to hit the refresh or something, throughout the day and or tomorrow. Are you expecting ETH to hit those before dip? Oh, I mean, I don't know, Sean. We don't expect. I mean, we do expect it, as the weekly chart is still bullish. I'd at least expect this target 2 to be hit, right? It is trending up right now. So as of right now, with the weekly chart on Ethereum, I would expect target 2 to get hit, but I'm not sure about target 3 or target 4 yet. We got to get to target 2 first. But as of right now, the weekly chart is bullish. Trending dots are bullish, but we always expect pullbacks. So whether there's a pullback or not, and it depends on what time frame you're looking at. If you're looking at the 5-minute chart, of course, there's going to be pullbacks every single day. If you're looking at the 1-hour chart, you're going to see pullbacks, maybe every couple days, maybe even a week, right? If it's really bullish, maybe there's not a pullback for like a week on the 1-hour chart, and so on and so on. So it really depends what time frame. But on the weekly chart, it seems like it's going to hit this next target first, but we don't know for sure. We don't have a magic crystal ball. But yeah, I guess the word that you're using is expect. Yeah, I guess I'm expecting price to at least hit target 2, and we'll see. We'll see if it does that or not, or if it pulls back first. We don't know for sure, but we rely on the shorter time frames. As of right now, the daily chart is ultra bullish, right? So the way it's trending right now, it seems like target 2 will be hit. I don't know about target 3 or target 4 yet, but it seems like this longer term target 2 would be hit beforehand. But obviously not financial advice. No need to copy trade me over here. Hope that helps. Feels like everything right now waits for BTC to move first. Yeah, that's nothing new. OTHA K. Feels like everything now waits for BTC. Usually Bitcoin does the heavy lifting first. Like if you go back to like 2020, 2021, Bitcoin does the heavy lifting, and then Ethereum likes to play around the same time. And then as you move lower from larger caps to mid caps to smaller caps, seems like it's always like a couple days behind. Not always. Some of the charts move completely by themselves, right? So it's not like, again, it's not when this happens, right? 100% of the time. But if you look at it from a general overall standpoint, Bitcoin pretty much kind of big brother, Bitcoin kind of moves first, maybe Ethereum afterwards. And then some of them will move with Bitcoin. Some of them will be lagging. So if you miss Bitcoin, sometimes we look at the Bitcoin miners or other crypto assets as like, hey, they might be lagging time-wise, right? So Bitcoin's making the move, doing the heavy lifting. Sean, you're welcome. Let's keep going. I got a lot more charts to look at. Ethereum, bullish on the weekly chart. Solana, bullish, ultra bullish on the weekly chart. Still ultra bullish, right? As of right now. But is this going to be a lower high in Solana, right? So it is something that we've been covering. It is something we've been watching, right? And we've been covering it on the live streams. It broke down from this longer term RSI trend line, right? So you had bearish divergence, you had a reversal candle, and this could potentially be a lower high, right? It could be a lower high. It's not guaranteed, but this is bearish divergence. This is bearish divergence. And then this could be possibly a lower high. So just keep that in mind. And if it is, it's another buy the dip scenario, right? In my opinion, it's not that it's going to crash down to zero, like many bears hope for, or for whatever reason. Maybe they missed it, or I don't know, they're just bearish on crypto in general. But I'd expect the next buy the dip opportunity. If this becomes a lower high, then you're looking at, this is probably target 1 so far, target 2, target 3, target 4, right? Some sort of buy the dip scenario. And then if and when it is a buy the dip scenario, maybe it's a shallow or a consolidation, a sideways consolidation, right? But that would be kind of like how I would play it out. And then maybe there's like maybe it comes down further, then pops out, and then there's like a better entry point somewhere like that in the future, right? Who knows? But it's too early to say. But this is how we've seen it play out kind of in the past, right? Over and over again. So it's possible that after the bearish divergence, after the reverse candle, this could be a possible lower high on the daily chart. If you drop down to a lower time frame, that's the 12-hour chart. Here's the 8-hour chart. Another RSI sell signal. It's still bullish on all these time frames, though. You have to go all the way down the 4-hour chart to get a sell signal. So who knows? But as of right now, the daily chart is still bullish. The weekly chart is ultra bullish. So you've seen what Bitcoin can do when the weekly chart is still ultra bullish, right? So it might just consolidate sideways and or dip down a little bit, kind of waiting for the trending dots to catch up. Maybe it just takes some time, right? So that's Solana. Let's keep going. Chainlink still ultra bullish on the weekly chart, right? Still ultra bullish. Dot bullish. Cardano bullish. Near bullish on the weekly chart. These are longer term targets, right? So longer term targets. Mana still bullish on the weekly chart. It's been consolidating sideways. Matic, there's like three shorter term targets hit to the downside, also consolidating sideways, still bullish on the weekly chart above that. Let's move over to stocks. Let's move over, and then we'll circle back to gold. We'll take a look at the dollar, but we'll take a look quick. Here's gold right here. It's still bullish on the daily chart, but this weekly candle, though, it was all the way up to 2150, right? On spot gold. That's crazy. So what a huge wick up today. This is a 1-day wick, right? All the way up. And then it's currently pending a reverse candle. Reverse candle doesn't mean, right? Doesn't mean it's going to reverse, but it is pending a reverse candle. It is still back above the trading dots. So it could just be consolidating, letting the trading dots kind of catch up. And this was a horizontal breakout, right? So this horizontal breakout never back tested it. So maybe it just comes back tests it like that, finds support, and then bounces out, right? Found support here at key target 2 there. So it had the short squeeze, found support at 2 out of the 4 shorter term targets to the downside, pumped all the way back up, maybe comes all the way back down, retraces, finds support again, and then bounces out again, right? There is another thought. Sorry, Ultra Bulls, right? There is another thought. What if this was a fake out to the upside, right? What if that is a fake out to the upside? It's always a possibility and then comes back down, right? So just take it level by level. But as of right now, I would expect a higher low to be put in, right? That trend line lines up nicely as well. So that's what you're kind of watching there. And maybe it fakes out to the downside, right? So it could fake out to the downside, but it's putting in like the staircase up, right? So you got the staircase up. You've got the next possible buy the dip scenario. But as of right now on the daily chart, that is a reversal candle, right? That is a reversal candle. And you would want price to find support at this trending upward trend line and this horizontal line. Otherwise, it starts closing back below. If it's not a fake out to the downside, then something could be off, right? Something could be off on gold. At the same time, the NASDAQ is correcting. At the same time, the Magnificent 7 are correcting. So we're going to take a look at it, and the dollar. We're going to flip around. Let's jump over to let's set the tone with the Magnificent 7. Let's take a look over. I want to show you the quick heat map over here. And of course, the heat map is a little bit delayed, right? But just from a visual standpoint, you got Microsoft 1.64, Google 2.3% off, Meta 1.68, Apple, NVIDIA down here at 2.5%, Tesla 0.63, and Amazon 1.35. So that's like basically the Magnificent 7. I could probably organize this better, maybe. I don't know, but it's just a quick glance at it anyways. Let's take a look over here. So let's get into it. We got the Magnificent 7. Hit target 1 on the NASDAQ futures already, right? So we're going to drop down to, we're going to circle back to that, but let's take a look at NVIDIA, right? So NVIDIA hit this target box already. I was lazy and I included like, what was it? 2 or 3 targets into one target box, right? So NVIDIA started, it was bearish divergence on the daily chart, started to break back down, came back tested this long-term upward trend line, right? Kind of zoom out here. We covered this on the live streams. You can go back and take a look at it as we were covering it in real time back here, November 15th, November 20th, right? Bearish divergence longer term. This was looking like a lower high. We called it out. We talked about it. I know one of our snipers, Mike G, is short NVIDIA. I'm not short NVIDIA, but he is. And I think he's doing pretty good right now. So he shorted it, talked about it. He direct messaged me, let me know. Smash the like. Yes, Javier, thank you. Smash that like button. I appreciate that. Our goal is 100 likes. Let's do it. 24 watching, 16 likes. Let's show some love. Thank you, Rick's Moneymakers Helton. I appreciate that. Yep. Let's try to get at least, 1 for 1 on the likes. That'd be great. 100% of people watching, smash the like button. It's a little bit more difficult if you're watching on a mobile phone. So you have to do a little bit more, right? So you got to work a little bit harder to smash that like. Or if you're watching it on your big screen TV, it's a little bit more difficult to use the remote to go up and smash the like button. But if you do, we appreciate it. So remember, NVIDIA, has this huge, massive 20% gap. And we've been calling it out since the massive 20% gap. At some point, we're expecting that gap to get filled. When? We don't know, right? We don't know when. Could be a month, could be 6 months, could be 12 months. Who knows when it's going to happen? But we expect the 20% massive gap to get filled at some point. We got bearish divergence, came down, hit target 1, additional bearish divergence, even shorter term bearish divergence, and now it's breaking down and has already got into this bigger target box. I just combined like 2 or 3 targets on this. I'd have to redraw it out from this pivot point here to there. Probably another target. I think it's eyeball test. It looks like it's hit 3 of the 4 shorter term targets. And if it doesn't hold, if price doesn't find support at this target box, right? If it doesn't find support and bounce, then that's when this bigger arrow comes into play. And then we would expect, to come back down, retest this target box again for the 4th time. 1, 2, 3, 4th time. And then we'll find out if it continues to break down from there. If it doesn't find support at this target box after this one, then we'll put the arrow there for this one, and so on and so on. So level by level. Whew, that's a lot. All right, Meta, 1.64%. Smashing targets to the downside. Target 2 has been hit. Let's go ahead and change that. Target 2 has been hit. We talked about this. We covered it. We're on the lower time frames, right? We covered in the 4-hour chart. On last week, there was a sell signal, right? And so 2 out of the 4 targets have been hit to the downside. If price doesn't find support for the next buy the dip scenario, this is what we talked about. This is what we covered, right? Over and over again. If it doesn't put in a higher low and find support at one of these key target areas, right? Then this arrow is in play. This arrow is not in play until it's not, right? But we are prepared for it. We are prepared for it. So if it's not the next buy the dip scenario, if it doesn't put in a higher low and find a support at a key target area, then we're going to expect this big arrow to come in play, but not until after this target here, right? So we'll continue to watch it. That's Meta. Amazon, this is still the 4-hour chart. Still no sell signal. It was pending a sell signal on Amazon. Kind of bounced off the target 1 there. Got this little gap down here. Well, little gap. Let's measure it out here. Almost 4%. So we'll continue to watch it. Amazon did have bearish divergence, right? Remember, bearish divergence, possible lower high, right? Possible lower high. These are the shorter term 4-hour charts. Pending sell signal on the 4-hour chart, but Microsoft just hit target 1 to the downside. Remember, this is all called out in advance. We didn't just draw these targets today after and say in hindsight is breaking down. We didn't do that. Go back to the live streams, right? Go back to this chart 3 days ago, right? Go back to this stock market crash confirmed for NASDAQ, NVIDIA, and Meta, right? Now, yes, is it a little bit of clickbait? Of course, right? You got to play the game a little bit, I guess, right? I guess you got to play the game a little bit. For click-throughs, you need it, right? Stock market crash confirmed. But quickly, when you go into it, you can see here that we talk about it for real. Are the Magnificent 7 stocks? This is 3 days ago. NASDAQ, SP about to crash. Not confirmed to have a bigger crash, but at least a retracement to the downside has started. We only got 15 likes on that. That's insane. 15 likes on that. We're way ahead of the population. We're way ahead of oh, nice face there. That's probably a bad spot to there you go. That's better. Oh, same hat. Oh, well, I was wearing the same hat. Different shirt though. Different shirt. So we were way ahead of anyone else out there. I'm sure maybe there's a couple of folks that were on top of it like we were. But 15 likes. Can we get some more love over there? Some 15 likes over there. So anyways, we talked about it. We called it out. Lower times like the 4-hour chart based on bearish divergence, price being overbought, a reverse candle, and a sell signal. Also, inversely, the DXY has started a retracement to the upside. Let's dive in charts together. We called this out 3 days ago. I did a 17 no, 12-minute, almost a 13-minute video on it 3 days ago. So let's see, 3 days ago, let's get on the daily chart. What day was that? So 1, 2, 3. So back here, right? So we were ahead. Yeah, it was Thursday. Yeah, I knocked out the video before my mom came into town. That's what it was. Now the memories coming back together. We did a 13-minute video as my mom was approaching our house. She was like an hour away driving in from Arizona, and we knocked out this 13-minute video ahead of time on Thursday. Again, we are ahead of the trend, and we'll continue to sniper the markets together. That is Microsoft, hit target 1 so far. Tesla, 4-hour chart. Looks a little bit different than some of these other ones that were topping out, right? This is a 4-hour chart. This is bearish divergence on Tesla. Tesla John, don't get mad at me. Don't do a thumbs down for this one, Tesla John. I'm just reporting what I'm seeing, right? Nothing against Tesla cars. Don't get mad. He won't. It looks like bearish divergence on the 4-hour chart. We did talk about that. There is an RSI sell signal on the 4-hour chart. These are lower time frames, but all I can say is it's trending downward, and I'm not expecting price to break out as of right now. So at the very least, it's looking like a retracement on the 4-hour chart, right? Could find support here at this upward trend line here, possibly, right? So just kind of watching it. Even the MACD had a bearish crossover on the 4-hour chart. Let's keep going. We got a lot to cover. We kind of shortened it. You know, everything was pumping on Friday. Mom was in town, right? Everything was pumping. I want to stay on, cover all of it, but you know, I want to spend time with my mom more, right? I don't see her as often as I'd like to. So it is what it is. Got to choose mom first. Bearish divergence on Apple 4-hour chart, looking like a lower high, right? Looking like a lower high. MACD, lower high in the 4-hour chart. Remember, these are lower time frames. I'll probably redraw the Apple and NVIDIA shorter term targets. Remember, NVIDIA is into these shorter term targets here. Let's zoom in on this a little bit. And then I put the same arrow down, right? So will Apple follow NVIDIA, get into this target box here? And then will it find support and that'll be the next buy the dip scenario? Possibly. If not, we got the big red arrow here telling us, hey, most likely we're going to retest this target box here, and then we'll find out if it comes back down to lower prices from there. So we'll see. That's Apple. Google dropping out like NVIDIA, right? Most likely 3 of the 4 targets to the downside. You have this very, very tiny small gap here, right? Put it a lower high, put it in a lower low, right? Will it put in another lower low? We don't know yet. Or is it going to put in a higher low and then bounce? So that's what we're going to continue to watch. We can kind of draw this. Remember, this is the 4-hour chart, but we'll put this down. Could be the next buy the dip scenario for now. If it doesn't find support at a key target area and bounce, right? And bounce, then if it does do that, then that'd be the next buy the dip scenario, right? If it doesn't do that, then we're going to put this arrow down to the downside. So this would be more like this, like assuming there's like 4 target box eyeball test, probably about right there. If it doesn't find support, right, is an old longer term target, then we expect lower, right, from that point. Remember, on Google, there are many longer term targets to the downside, right? So it's possible we see that it doesn't find support and go back down. If we do find support, then it's the next buy the dip scenario. Always have 2 plans laid out and play it accordingly and stay neutral as much as possible, right? So that's what we're kind of watching, but it did put in a lower high and did put in a lower low on Google as of right now. NASDAQ, with all that said, right? NASDAQ looks very similar. This was the 4-hour chart, bearish divergence, reverse candle we talked about, sell signal, came back down, bounced off of the trend line, right? Fake out to the upside, and then reverse back around with the sell signal on Sunday, yesterday, at the open, and then started to break back down this Monday morning, right? Early in the morning. 4-hour chart, started right back down, hit target 1. So it's possible it pushes back up, right? Pushes back up, maybe even back tests it, puts in another lower high, and then possibly continues back down, similar to NVIDIA and Google, right? So that's what we're kind of watching. Inversely, the DXY is looking very similar. Had that reverse candle down here, oversold on the 4-hour chart. We talked about a higher low here on Friday, and then another buy signal. It's breaking on this downward trend line, right? A 12-hour chart, right? If you go to the 12-hour chart, pending buy signal on the 12-hour chart for DXY. Did we get front run again on our fourth target? It's been the theme. We've been talking about this for months, right? Didn't hit this target to the downside. This fourth target. Didn't hit this fourth target to the upside. Didn't hit this fourth target to the downside. And it's already hitting targets to the upside. So it doesn't, the DXY loves 3 out of the 4 targets. The DXY hates our fourth sniper target. For whatever reason, the DXY hates our fourth target. So that's what it is it's pending buy signal on the dollar. Inversely, pending sell signal on the 12-hour chart for the NASDAQ, right? So target 1's already been hit. DXY target 1's already been hit. And if we switch over to the 10-year yield, right? Got a reverse candle again. So reverse candle, oversold again. Reverse candle. Is it finding bottom at this longer term target that hit way back here, right? It's possible. We cover this all the way from up here. Would it either find support? Here, let's get back on the daily chart. Let's get back on the daily chart. We had this 2 scenarios. Would it come all the way back, all the way up here? We were talking about it, right? There's bearish divergence, and it hasn't hit this longer term target up here yet, right? So would it come down here, find support, and bounce? It did not. Or would it come all the way down here, find support, and bounce? We will see, right? We will see. And so it's still bullish on the higher time frames? No. It did have a sell signal, and it could be finding support possibly, right? You got some horizontal support here as well. Could be bouncing off even short term. Who knows? But maybe it does something like that, right? It is possible. This is a longer term trend line. You know, I wouldn't expect it just come straight all the way down. It could do that as well, but I would expect at least some sort of a bounce, right? Maybe even possibly come back up, even hit this target up here, and then maybe it takes some time to play out. Possibly, we don't know. Tesla John, no hard feelings, Jesse. Bring price lower so I can add more for less. There you go. There you go. Cool. All right. So that's 10-year yield. That's weekly chart. That's daily chart. But if you go to the lower time frames, like the 4-hour chart, there was a reverse candle on the 4-hour chart. Oh, yeah. Let me clean some of this up, right? Let's clean some of it up. So 4-hour chart oversold, reverse candle, probably even, bullish divergence, reversal candle after bullish divergence. So some sort of retracement similar to the dollar, inversely to the NASDAQ and the Magnificent 7, right? Whoo! What else? What else? Do we have anything that we want to chart? Any requests? Let's take a look at it. Do we have any chart requests? I'm going to quickly scan through. Silver miner CDE had a nice ripper. Looking to add on pullback, CDE. Yeah, you had me chart this one before, and it looked like a good call on your side. QQQ, BAT. Oh, let's see, daily chart on BAT, pumping up, right? We covered this on the live stream. On the live stream, someone wanted me to cover it in real time. It was a pending buy signal. Price was at about 22 cents-ish, right around 22 cents at that point. We talked about a pending buy signal. At the same time, we did a side-by-side comparison with IOTA. Woo! IOTA was looking ultra bullish and a pending buy signal all in the same daily candle, but price is all the way up here already. So we did a side-by-side with BAT, right? Pending buy signal, and continue pushing up on BAT. BAT has not retested 200-week moving average since August 2022. Will it in the future? Possibly, we don't know, but it's looking like possible higher low. This was looking like another higher low on the live stream, right? So this live stream was Wednesday, November 29th. You can go back to that live stream. It was at the very end. We did a chart request, and we ended up doing we had a chart request for IOTA and BAT. So I ended up doing, they were looking very similar to me. So we did a side-by-side comparison. Also, Matic was looking kind of similar and stuff like that. So what else? Anything else? Anyone else? Let's see. Let's keep going. Oh, CDE. Do I have CDE on here? Let me know if you want to take a, oh, there it is. CDE, since we're talking about it, right? We're starting to get overbought. It's still bullish on the daily chart. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart is still bullish. Trending dots are back here, right? Trending dots are back here. So doesn't mean it couldn't retrace and let the trending dots kind of catch up. But just overall, the weekly chart is bullish. Trending dots are green and are trending up, and expect pullbacks along the way whenever, it could take a couple of weeks off, maybe even retraces a little bit. But remember, the 200-week moving average is up here at $5.28. You can see it says 528 right there, and it has not retested the 200-week moving average since November 2021. This is probably long-term bullish divergence. Yep, long-term bullish divergence there, right? And then this is a long-term bullish divergence. At some point, you would want to see a higher low get put in, and that will be your higher probability that at some point we're going to come up and retest higher targets from there. So a higher low is good, right? A higher low is good wherever that is. Maybe it continues to push up like that before there's a pullback. Never know where that next higher low is going to be, but at some point, that's what we're going to look at. RJ, welcome back, RJ, longtime sniper. GSVR stock, please. You got it. Let's take a look at it. GS stock. Thanks for letting me know it's a stock. I appreciate that. And then why do you want me to look at it? Like, let me know what you're looking to do. Oh, I think we looked at it already for you, right? Are you on the OTC? I think you said the TSXV before, right? Yeah. Pretty sure. Where is it? This one? No. GS, where is it? How come it didn't pull up? We'll try it again. GSVR, right? How come? Oh, there it is. Now I see it. Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at it. Weekly chart had the buy signal, right? Had the buy signal. Let's see. Had the weekly buy signal there. Let's look at the daily chart. Daily chart is still bullish. Are you in it? Are you looking for an entry? What, still in the position we looked at it? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you had that breakout. You could even go all the way back to like that, right? So you had that breakout, that buy signal right here. So the buy signal 30 cents, wherever you got in at 30 cents or even below 20. I think you even got in earlier, like 24 cents or something on the bottom. Okay, awesome. So you had a breakout in the buy signal. It's just, it moved up very quickly, almost hit the 200-week moving average. So you expect kind of, consolidations, retracements along the way, right? So yeah, it's still bullish on the daily chart. Had a weekly buy signal, and so you just have to decide if you're on a shorter time frame or on a longer time frame. So if you're looking at like a longer term hold, maybe you're still looking to try to push it as long as possible, and you just kind of sit on your hands for a while, right? So we obviously talked about it as higher, slightly higher lows getting put in, slightly higher lows. Where is the next higher low that's going to get put in, right? Is it going to be there? Is this going to be it? Is it going to find support here, right? There's a wick here. Is it going to find support and bounce? Is it going to find support and bounce, right? So those would be like the next potential higher lows or the next potential buy the dip scenarios. And you kind of draw it out like that. Like if you're on a much lower time frame, possibly maybe that'd be kind of like the next potential buy the dip scenario, as it's kind of letting the trending dots catch up and all that stuff. So not much to report on that, other than it's still bullish on the daily chart. Last week there was a buy signal, right? So just probably it was getting really far extended away. You can see the trending dots were way back here at 29 cents. So it's taking some time off the clock, letting the moving averages catch up. So make sure to have a plan in place. Could even see it, come back all the way back down to 31 cents for a retracement, find support, and then bounce from there, right? So makes sense. But it seems like eventually it's going to retest the 200-week moving average. It hasn't retested it since August, so it could be retesting that in the near future, most likely, possibly. We don't know. Still in the position we looked at. Yep. Okay. Yep. Got it. All right. Correct. Got it. Thank you. Appreciate that on the bottom. Awesome. AGIX. I think someone else had me look at AGIX or talked about it or brought it up. AGIX. Right? Yep. Okay. Let's take a look at it. There it is. There it is. Still bullish on the daily chart as of right now. There's bearish divergence going all the way back to October 29th, right? Ollie. Oh, I think you asked for it on the Twitter X app, right? That's where I think I saw it. I think you asked about it then. Hi, Jesse. Lawrence. Matic, please. I'm looking for a long entry. Okay, we'll take a look at it. So AGIX, you got bearish divergence. You got additional bearish divergence on November 25th. And this could be a possible lower high, right? So if that plays out, and it's not confirmed yet, but if that plays out and you kind of draw this out like this, Ollie, you start getting daily closes back below, kind of like that. Then you could see that you could probably even get a retracement back down to back to this area, possibly, maybe lower, and maybe it doesn't even go that low, but it would be that potential next buy the dip scenario, because you're looking at, let's see, you have the bearish divergence from here, right, all the way to here as of right now. And then you got potential lower high, right? So you got the lower high possible right there. And so if so, where's that next buy the dip going to be? Target 1, target 2. Target 1 is probably up higher, right? Target 1, target 2, somewhere around there. Target 3, right? Probably around there. And then maybe target 4, right? So maybe it comes down, buys the dip, comes down, buys the dip, like that, right? So that's what it possibly could. It's too early to say. There's not even a breakdown from a longer term upward trend line, right? So it's too early to say. Maybe you're really aggressive trend line like that. It's coming there. So if you start getting closes back below it, right? You start to get sell signals, but on the 4-hour chart, probably already has a sell signal, right? It looks like a lower high in the 4-hour chart. So depending on what your plan of attack is, right? Maybe it puts in another lower high and then kind of rolls over it. And are you looking to buy the next possible dip, all that stuff? So that's what I'm kind of seeing, where if you start getting confirmations on these lower time frames that bleed into the higher time frames, then it could be that next buy the dip scenario, target 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever it's at. And that would be kind of AGIX. Lawrence, Matic. Yeah, we covered Matic briefly. We just took a look at it. There wasn't much to report on it because we've been covering it, right? So daily chart here, after hitting this longer term target up here, and then hit 3 of 4 targets to the downside, right? So you had the bearish divergence. You had bearish divergence from November 15th. We covered it. Had a reversal candle, and it dropped 25%, right? So retraced 25, 20, almost 27% from wick to wick. So almost a 27% correction. It hit 3 of the 4 targets to the downside, right? Looked like it was possibly finding support, possibly putting in a higher low, right? Then had a buy signal, regained the 200-week moving average, got back above with there's a buy signal back here on the November 30th, Thursday. And then we talked about, I'd be more sold on it if there's a close back above the trending dots and the 200-week moving average. Like, that would be a milestone. I talked about this even on Friday, I believe. But I definitely covered it on the 30th and the 1st on the live stream, talking about there is a buy signal, but if you do get a candle close back above the trending dots and the 200-week moving average, that kind of makes me, believe that buy signal more and more, right? And now you got green trending dots. Price came back to retested it. It's right on there that you'd really want it to find support here and then turn back around and flip up to the upside, right? That's what you really want to see happen. And so that's kind of how I draw it out here. Probably is let's see, from here to there, right? So it's kind of fake out to the upside, but you can see kind of the trading dots. So I see if it's going to kind of go out like that. If not, then you're expecting a possibly even the fourth target to get hit, wherever that is, fourth target, and then come out. And that would be kind of your possible longer term buy the dip scenario, something like that. So it's too early to say, but it already had that buy signal back here, broke back above the trading dots and the 200-week moving average. This could be possibly it, right? So it could possibly be it. It's still bullish on the daily chart. Maybe find support and then comes out like that. So you just have to decide what you're watching and waiting and what your entry points are. Remember, there's no MACD bullish crossover. Typically lagging, not always, but typically lagging. So that's what you're kind of watching. Weekly chart is still bullish. Weekly chart is still bullish. So that's what we're watching on Matic. Anything else? Anyone else? We're at 1 hour, 6 minutes. I don't see any other ones. Let's see. Are you expecting ETH? Talked about that. Talked about it. Let's circle back here on Bitcoin. Still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. Ultra bullish on the daily chart. Remember, it broke down from this longer upward trend line. Kind of found support here. Found support. And then it closed back above, right? Closed back above here. It was a higher daily candle close from November 15th. And that's when we were saying it's confirmed breakout at that point. And then it came up and hit target 42,300 from there. So still ultra bullish on the daily and the weekly chart. So we'll see what happens. It is still possible it puts in bearish divergence. Additional bearish divergence. It is possible, right? It is possible. And we have this trend line drawn out from back here. Let's see, from there, right? Pretty close. I don't know. We did have that trend line drawn out. If you go back to previous live streams and stuff, we did have that trend line out, and it did just hit that. It hit that target. It hit that trend line and the middle of the target all at once, right? So, and then we kind of had it drawn out like this. So we kind of had it drawn out, or was it like that? I can't remember now. I have to look back at old live streams and videos, but we had it kind of drawn out like that. And it broke out to the upside, hit this longer term target, and retested the top of this trend line there. So could it put in additional bearish divergence? Yes. Yes, it could. That's Bitcoin. So what else? That's pretty much. Oh, we haven't looked at some of these tech stocks. Path, just what a monster jump up on Friday. That was amazing. Ultra bullish on the daily chart. Uni Software, bullish. We covered this a long time ago. If you're missing it, you shouldn't be, right? AI stocks from 1 month ago. We did a I hit the mic. We're good? Yep. Did a follow-up with AI stock breaking out. Unity was lagging time-wise, but we did a top 5 and we threw in a 6th bonus one back here. They're all pumping, right? Sorry, not sorry you missed it. You shouldn't be missing it. Only 336 views, right? 336 views. That's it. That is it. Top 5 AI stock picks. Oh, man. I can't believe you missed it. Oh, we didn't even take a look at this. Just real quick. We talked about it way back here, like 23%, 23.6% of all S&P 500% of stocks above the 200-day moving average. When we talk about it, we cover it, and we said Many investors think that if stocks are below the 200-day moving average, it is bearish. If it's above, it's bullish, right? Which means to me that many investors believe the sentiment is bullish. 67% of all S&P 500 stocks are above the 200-day moving average. Magnificent 7 is above that, but could the Magnificent 7 starting to roll over? Possibly. Will it put in a higher low? Possibly. Or will it continue down? We don't know. But the MACD on the weekly chart even had a bullish crossover and looks like it's getting back above the zero line for the SP 500 stocks. So small caps could be done with their correction. A lot of them corrected for 2 years, 2.5 years, massive moves to the downside. So it's possible that the Magnificent 7 stocks do go through correction because they had a wild run, while small caps already went through their huge correction. So treat each chart individually. Again, there's a recap on Unity software. We talked about it, covered it back there, did a video on it. And after the buy signal, then it consolidated and now pushed up through target 1, trading towards target 2. Seems like it's happening in real time. We love to see it. PayPal, still bullish on the daily chart. Got this gap up here at $72. Whoo! New comments. What do we got? Lawrence, thank you. You're welcome, Lawrence. You're welcome. We got the buy signal down here on Veritone. Is one of the last AI stocks, right? We covered it way back here a month ago, right? And then broke back down. And then we talked about it. This could be a possible higher low. Started to break out. We covered it in real time. Buy signal, right? Breaking out. Had the arrow down here. Higher probability breaking out from this downward trend line, right? A Veritone, AI stock, exponential fitness, buy signal, hasn't even hit one target yet. It's got this 18% gap up at $25. We will see if we get a pump up. Hope so. TDOC, Teledoc, we've been covering it. Target 1 so far. Boom. AI, it was one of those videos from over here on YouTube, right? One of those videos in the top 5 AI stocks also, along with Path. Only target 1's been hit so far. So we're expecting these other shorter-term targets to get hit, possibly longer-term targets. We don't know yet. Path, like I said, we already covered it. CloudMD could be putting in a higher low, possibly, right? Had the buy signal, could possibly put in a higher low. High risk, high reward. Peloton, a lot of people hated Peloton at the bottom. A lot of people hated Peloton. They hated the owner of the Peloton or the CEO of Peloton. Regardless of your feelings, there was a buy signal, a breakout, a higher low, another buy signal, and now it's making its move, shorter term targets. We have longer term targets. We have this 200-week moving average that hasn't been retested in a very, 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 very long time, up at $49. Woo! Can we get an update on likes? We had 16 likes. How are we doing now? Are we getting better? Are we at 25? We'd love to keep going. 25. We'll keep going at 25. Got a lot more to cover. Otherwise, we're going to call it. Hey, help me, help you, help me. Target still ultra bullish. Remember, the pretty big gap, though. Pretty big gap. You would think if the bottom truly is on target and it's going to continue upwards, you would think at some point the gap would get filled and then it'd be in longer term. TLT, we've been talking about it. We've been covering it. There's the weekly chart. So we expected either why we don't buy this dip down here is because unless you're on a lower time frame, right? If you're on a lower time frame, that's different because there could be a future bullish divergence. You got bullish divergence, but at some point you expect a higher low, right? Higher low or bullish divergence, right? One of the two. And then, so you'd expect that whether it's like that, comes out like that, or it comes all the way back down, then like that, right? So one of the two for the longer term reversals for TLT, buy the right dip. Otherwise, you buy this dip and it keeps dipping, bullish divergence, right? You buy this dip, It's possible that was the low, but you're guessing before a higher low gets put in, and because you could have a lower dip here, right? So we'll see. That's TLT. Daily chart, we had that buy signal back here at like $87, right? Kind of gapped up a little bit on the daily chart. Buy signal. So still expecting a higher low at some point, and possibly bullish divergence, but maybe less likely that there's additional bullish divergence. Too early to say, but definitely expect a higher low. Maybe that higher low is down here where that gap is, right? So it's possible, right around that $85. So that's what we're watching there. Iris Energy, we've been covering it. Today, it gapped up, hit the shorter term target 4. Boom, we called it as it's breaking out back here. November 22nd, it was breaking out at a candle close above. Said probably going to see a pending buy signal in the near future. We did see a pending buy signal in the near future, followed by a buy signal, followed by target 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, ultra bullish on Iris Energy. Blackline, this is one of the AI stocks from a month ago. Still bullish on the daily chart. Weekly chart, awesome. Good to see. Lemonade, 3 of the 4 targets to the upside. What else? VIX, something to keep an eye on for the VIX. Lower time frame, had a buy signal on the 4-hour chart only, right? So hit this low down here at about $12.43 on the VIX. Possible double bottom on the 4-hour chart. Buy signal. Kind of keep that in mind. You know, if the VIX starts pumping, then you're going to see the NASDAQ and SP 500, you know, inversely will be correct, continue to go through their correction as well. And possibly stocks overall, right? So that's what we'll find out. We'll see. GBTC, let's get back on the daily chart. Still bullish on the daily chart. Still moving towards target 4. So something we've been covering for a long time is GBTC leading the way on Bitcoin. They own Bitcoin, right? They own Bitcoin for their Bitcoin trust, but are they leading the way? It's hit 3 of the 4 targets, longer term targets to the upside, is now above target 3. So is Grayscale, is the tail wagging the dog, or is the dog wagging the tail? In this case, it seems like the tail is wagging the dog on Bitcoin. So just an observation, doesn't mean anything more than that. Same with MicroStrategy. Is the tail wagging the dog? Also above target 3 of target 4. Bitcoin is not. Remember, Bitcoin is not. It's on target 3, in the middle of target 3 right now. Let's go back. Let's see. Yeah, MicroStrategy. There it is. Target 3 of 4 to the upside. So we'll continue to watch that, how that plays out. Tilray, we talked about it. It's not even bullish on the weekly chart. The 200-week moving average is $7.69. Wow, you guys are all still here? That's awesome. Great Monday live stream. Thanks, Rick's Money Makers Health In. I appreciate that. Appreciate all your support. Tilray, we covered this. We covered it. We covered it. Starting to pump now. Woo! High risk, high reward. Could lose a lot of money though. We pointed this out a long time ago. Looked like a low, possible higher low. Filled the gap from back here, right? So could be something similar to TLT, right? TLT pumps up, obviously not this much. Comes back, fills that gap, finds support, maybe in dips below it for a couple days. Who knows how it works out? And then finds support, then has a buy signal, and then takes off to the upside, starts hitting targets to the upside. Don't look now, but that 200-week moving average is way up there. Hasn't retested in a long time. It's trying to catch lightning in a bottle. It's very difficult to do. And is that it? Oh, in case Arnold's watching, Rivian, he loves Rivian. In case Arnold is watching, breakout here. We talked about it. Buy signal. Another buy signal. Looks like it found support. Put in a higher low at the trending dots. Target 1 has been hit. And then we'll see if these other shorter term targets get hit. If so, then that's when we would start to think that these longer term targets are in play, right? It's got to break through shorter term resistance first. Then these targets come into play. So with that said, thanks for all of your support. I appreciate all of you. Continue to like and smash the buttons, and we will see you tomorrow on the next one. With that, hope you have a good rest of your day, and